on our first speaker, Toastmaster Umamaheswari. Toastmaster Umamaheswari, making yourself known. Making yourself known, Toastmaster Umamaheswari.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the Toastmaster Dinesh. Good morning, fellow Toastmasters and guests. Couple of years back, there was an interesting tweet, and that tweet became almost like a headlines on every media channel. There was a theater in a place called Anakaputtur in Chennai, and they tweeted that with a video. In their cafeteria, two boys were standing there, and one boy stole a cup of popcorn. They put that video in the guy stealing the popcorn, and they tweeted like, whoever finds this guy, they will get one popcorn free. And this news was very humorous. Everyone was finding it very humorous, and they started telecasting it in their TV channels. So what could be the reason? Why did the theater tweeted this? Have you ever guessed? What could be your guess? It's just a cup of popcorn, and they are again giving a reward, a cup of popcorn. Whoever identifying those guy who stole the popcorn. What could be the reason? When I saw this news, sorry, someone tried to.
Branding.
Yes, thank you, Toastmaster Archana. I kind of felt it was a beautiful strategy by the theater. A free advertisement in all the news channels. The theater name, area name, everything is there. Obviously, people will know about this, right? The concept of making themselves in spotlight. This is what we all as individuals need in our life. We all are running goal. We all are moving towards our own need, dreams, success. And definitely for that, we need visibility. We need everyone to see us. Right? In other ways, marketing ourselves, making ourselves visible to others, making ourselves known to others. And they used to say beautifully, marketing is all about visibility, and visibility is all about power. Who doesn't love power, right? So we all need power to move towards our goal, and making ourselves visible. One great opportunity, one great strategy to move. And there is one beautiful book called The Power Paradox. If you get chance, just try that book. It was an author called Dacha Keltner. It is all about how marketing is very powerful, not only for business people, how individuals can also gain power in their community, in their group through powerful marketing. He has written that the ability to influence others and making a difference in the world, making yourself known to others is a great thing. All the tips you need to make yourself known. One great book, I suggest everyone to get chance read it. In essence, they say, if you have visibility in your workplace, in your professional place, people will pay attention to you. When people start paying attention to you, it means indirectly you are becoming an influencer to them. And once you become an influencer to them, you are indirectly taking the power in your hands. And that is where you move a step forward towards your goal. Visibility and power goes hand in hand. Making yourself visible is very much important. In that Power Paradox book, Keltner has given some 5 reasons how visibility is important. How visibility, we can do visibility, we can make visible ourselves. One, obviously the visibility, making yourself known with new ideas, feedback, information. When you have a clear data, when you have clear knowledge, when you have clear skill, people will get a genuine curiosity to know about you. When you show creativity, when you have a good communication, people will make sure they want to know about you, and that you will create a visibility about you. Second concept is the perception. How people see you. Making yourself visible is one thing, but how they receive and how they see you is another thing. How many of you, are you seen one in a crowd, or are you seen as an individual? So how many of you have used MacBooks, Apple laptops? Have you ever seen how Apple laptop does the marketing? Always, have you ever, how we see Apple laptops? We always see Apple laptops in one section, all other branded laptops in other section. Apple never compete with other laptops as one among them. Apple always compete as one separate laptop and all other brands are one other section. That is how they project themselves, how they make people to see themselves. Whether Apple has bypassed that market is another story, but how they make people to see them is the concept. So how people see you, how you are making people to see is one another point to improve your visibility. Third is empathy. Empathy is a very powerful tool to make yourself visible because the entire world runs under one question. Whenever you do, whatever you do, this one question is very much important. That question is called WIIFM. Have you ever heard of this WIIFM? It's called what's in it for me. Whatever you do, people will have that question in their mind. What is in there for me? What will I get because of that? And when you tap that question, people will get connected to you. Empathy is one powerful tool to tap that question. What is in it for me? So when you cooperate with empathy, it will increase your visibility because you recognize people, you recognize their pain points, you recognize their problems from their shoes, and that makes them feel confidence towards you, and that is to start believe in you, and so your visibility will increase. And the fourth point is focus. When you focus towards your goal, all your actions will be based on your goal. You will be shown different from others. And that is where you'll gain your visibility. And finally, the enthusiasm. Enthusiasm is very much needed for you to move forward to gain visibility. Without a passion, without a compassion, without an enthusiasm, you cannot take a step forward. Even you take a step forward with compulsion, without enthusiasm, you will stop halfway. So enthusiasm is very much needed. So we saw visibility, perception, empathy, focus, and enthusiasm, 5 key points of visibility. What you can do to improve your visibility? There are certain pointers where you can make yourself visible to others. One, you need to identify your. Have you ever heard of this term USP? In major business areas, they used to say
Unique selling point.
perfect
Unique
Toastmasters.
selling
Yes,
point.
unique selling point. Yes. You need to know your unique selling point. And once you identify your unique selling point, making yourself visible is not a big deal. I am a handwriting trainer. When I start simply mention, I can improve handwriting, people never looked at me. But when I added one catch, you can see a visible difference in your handwriting in 7 days. That 7 days did a catch. And that was my unique selling point. So that is how I started identifying my unique selling point, which made me visible more compared to others. And second, find out how others see you. I talk to your trusted friends and ask them to give pointers about you. If you don't know how to ask questions, very simple question is just tell 5 adjectives about me. One question, 5 adjectives about you. When you ask that, when they say that adjective that describes you, you will know your area of improvement, you will know your strongest point, and you will know where you're lagging and where you're good at, what are your strengths, and which area you're irreplaceable. I never talked about the negative area. I'm not talking about the area of improvement. I'm talking about the area which you are good at. Why? Because when you start concentrating on your area of improvement, you will lose focus on your strongest point. And that is why you always need to focus more on your strongest point rather than your area of improvement. When your area of strongest point is going up and up and up, the area of improvement will become smaller and smaller and smaller. It diminishes At one point, it will become invisible. Concentrate more on your positives rather than your negatives, which will make you more stronger, which will make you more visible. Third, identify your goals. Your goals, you need to split it up. What is my goal for the next 3 months? What is my goal for the next 6 months? Next 5 years? Next 10 years? Define your goals. Whether you're achieving your goals, whether moving towards your goals on the time frame is another story. But you need a goal. You need a destination. Without a destination, how you can move forward? So have your goals, split it into various time frame. 3 months, 6 months, 5 years, 10 years. And that is when you can move towards your goal. I have a goal. My goal for the next 6 months, 3 months is finish at least 1 book. Next 6 months, finish at least 2 books. In the next 5 years, I just want to write 1 book which makes me famous across the world like J.K. Rowling. That goal made me to start think on the concepts, and I am ready to move forward towards it. Whether I'm succeeding or not is another story, but at least I have a goal to move on, and that makes me visible towards others. Number 4, identify your audience. This is very, very important because you need to make yourself visible, but to whom? Just generally not to everyone. You need to have your audience to whom you should be visible, to whom you should be successful, to whom you should be influencing. Identify your target audience and then take the step to make yourself visible. And number 5, recognize your priorities. You might be putting yourself behind your company, your co-workers, your clients. Sometimes you hesitate to say no because of fear of missing out, fear of criticism, and that always makes you blend in the crowd like the wallflower, which stops you to move towards your goal. You reorganize your priorities, which is more important to you. You take that first. Always have yourself first at any point of time. And number 6, pay attention to the details. Even minute details will always make yourself as an established brand. When you identify your details, when you groom yourself with those details, you stand aside from your co-workers. Groom yourself externally as well as internally to make sure you are different from others. So these are all some of the basic things which can make you more visible. What more things you can do? First, you need to choose a position. You need to give an answer for that one basic question, what are you? When you get a clear answer, what are you, you will get a clear idea, who are you, what are you going to do, how are you going to do, when are you going to do, and why are you going to? So identify, answer the question, what are you? When someone asks, what am I very clearly mentioned, based on my profession, my earning profession, I will say, I'm a communication trainer, I'm a handwriting trainer. It's a very simple statements. When I say, I am a trainer who improved their handwriting in just 12 classes, I am a trainer who can improve people's communication in just 15 sessions. That makes me difference. That gives the answer of what am I. That self-marketing of myself, make myself visible more. Second, identifying the answer to the question is important, but am I doing justice to that answer? You need to become an expert of yourself. Whatever you know, learn more, get more knowledge, become an expert again and again. You don't ever underestimate others. You learn something from your 5-year-old daughter, 5-year-old son, something which can make you an expert in one point of time. When I was teaching one kid about the strokes in handwriting, I mentioned a specific shape of a handwriting. I used to struggle to describe it. That kid very simply saw it and said, "Ma'am, this just looks like a strawberry." That kid was just 7 years old. And that day, I renamed the stroke as strawberry stroke. And it was very easy for me to teach others. So same way, don't ever underestimate others. Always get more knowledge every day. Try to learn every day, which will make you more visible to others. Third, Whatever you learn, try to share it with others. Let me tell you, you may have a unique selling point. You may think that is your secret, but nothing is a secret in this digital world. Whatever you do new, please know that in another 15 days, at least 8 people around in 2 kilometers will do the same thing. This is a statistics conducted and people has identified it. Whatever the unique selling point is, whatever new thing you identify, you find, you discover, you invent, within 2 kilometers, at least 8 people will try to imitate it. So there is no unique selling point forever for you. It may be an USP for you to project yourself, but when you have to educate others so that people will learn from you, and by educating them, you can also improve yourself and your USP will grow. So not only learn, teach others as well what you know. Then form a network. Always connections help us to be visible to others. Have you ever heard of this term? Your network is your net worth. Always, what connections you have will always help you to grow, to be visible. You don't know when, where you will get an opportunity on what. On during COVID time, during lockdown period, where we don't have a much interaction with others, I was completely shut in my house. I came across a beautiful app house. I don't know how many of you have used it. Have you ever heard about this app called Clubhouse? Have you ever interacted with that? It was an app where you can talk with people. You cannot see them. You can form groups. Many people can come into the group and you can talk with each other. When I was exploring this app again and again, we found a like-minded people of a group and we started taking classes on how to do business, how to be a leader. And on that time, I discovered I have a capability to train people on doing business. I became a business coach with that group. And even now, we do offline sessions and online sessions across not only Tamil Nadu, we have extended towards South India. And that is when, because of that network, because of having a network with people, made me to explore opportunities that created a new channel of career for me. So always form network with people. Never hesitate to connect with people. We may be introvert, we may be ambivert, that is different. But towards a goal, towards a vision, if we need to talk to people, if we need to connect with people, don't hesitate to do it. Always connecting with people will make your visibility more, will make you visible more. And this is one of my favorite term when it comes to visibility. They used to say, have you ever heard of this term, be a Roman when you are in Rome? How many of you have heard about this? Be a Roman when you are in Rome. But I always say, be a Greek when you are in Rome. Try to be different from others. Blending with others, yes, you need to have a crowd, you need to be with the crowd, but you need to stand out. When I was doing on my final year engineering, when we had a career workshop, that person at that time, almost like 20 years back, he said, almost 1 lakh people are coming out of colleges this year as engineers. What makes you different so that you can get a job? That made me thought, how am I different? What made me different? From my second year, I used to participate in almost all the paper presentations, symposiums, and I had a bundle of close to some 75 certificates. Almost 60 certificates is like I got first prize in all the presentations. That made me to stand different from my class, from my college, from 1 lakh engineers who came out of the college. And at that time, there was the Twin Tower incident where we had a heavy recession in IT industry. It was very difficult to get a job, but I secured a job in Wipro because of that. So always try to be a Greek when you are in Rome. Be with people, blend with people, but stand different. And most important, don't hesitate to do things. It will make you visible. When I was in my final year of engineering, Infosys was one of my dream company. I just want to work in it. So I used to apply for Infosys whenever they call for. But I never even get a opportunity to write an exam. So that time I read an article in Reader's Digest by Mr. Narayana Murthy on the concept called brain drain. How people are going outside India for career opportunities, and because of that, how India is losing a lot of beautiful brains, intellectual brains. So I found from one of my friend, I found a pattern of email IDs in Infosys. And with that pattern, I calculated and found the email ID of Mr. Narayana Murthy. I never hesitated. I wrote a mail to him with my resume saying, you wrote an article in Reader's Digest on this, but you are not giving an opportunity for an engineering student to write an exam. Why don't you give me an opportunity to check whether I have a capability to work in your company? You won't believe, in 2 days, I got a call for on the next written exam in Infosys. If I have hesitated to do it, I wouldn't have got that opportunity. Whether I won that opportunity, whether I lost that different story. I'm not going to talk about it. But I got the opportunity because I did something with courage. I never hesitated to do this. So always don't hesitate to do this. So my friends, I just finished my talk with one thing. There is no right way to project you, to earn attention, or to find a spotlight for your message. There is only one way to do it. That is your way. So don't hesitate. Making yourself known is very much important to move towards your goal in life. And I hope everyone will make yourself known in your life. Over to the Toastmaster.
Called our evaluators for the speech for the prepared speakers. So first we have the first speaker is Toastmaster Umamaheswari to read out the evaluation report for Toastmaster Umamaheswari. Let me call upon our evaluator, Toastmaster Archana.
Hi, Toasties and my dear target speaker, Toastmaster Umamaheswari. My hearty congratulations for you to reach your level 5. A wonderful job. It is always a quote which goes, a speech is better or the speaker is better. I would say the speech went on very well because of the speaker today. Beautifully crafted speech, bundle of information that you gave us. When an audience or listening to your speech on a longer period, it is always a few takeaways for the audience that has to happen. Like takeaway on the content, check. Beautifully, beautifully delivered content you gave it to us. The research that you have made for delivering the content, tick. Beautiful research. You gave us a lot of statistics. You gave us a lot of points for us to imbibe and reciprocate. A trending topic, yes, it is very useful for us to know how we have to make ourselves known to people. Yes, a trending topic it was. A takeaway emotion, yes, we had a takeaway vibe. Yes, I should know how to project myself before others. A very good takeaway emotion that we had when we listened to your speech on a long run. And also, I should say, a beautiful jargons that you gave us, a beautiful way you connected with the audience. Now, coming up with all these kudos, I have a few recommendations for you to make this speech a much more proficient than this. A few recommendations, I should say. When it is a long run of a speech, it would be better if you use this bigger frame of walking and talking to us, coming in front and interacting with us. Second point, if you would have made a small presentation and projecting up all the topics in pointers would be better rather than telling 1, 2, 3. And it was like you were giving us two different topics, like how to be known and how to make it work, right? So when you have it in two different mainstreams and you have pointers inside, would have been better if you showed it in a presentation or something. And if you would have earlierly told us we have 5 important points, we would be ready to grab all those 5. I thought it was 3. I thought it was 4. I thought it was 5, but it went on to 6. So it would have been better if you have projected those numbers in advance itself. And one more important thing is the transition. When you wanted to jump from one point to the other, it would be better if you give a powerful transition, a stronger opening and a stronger closure as well. Writing a letter to Narayana Murthy is not a simple thing. It was strong, but you could have delivered it in a stronger way. Hold on to all your positives. Work on these little recommendations to become a professional speaker in the future. My best wishes.